I'm FD from Rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD, baby.
I'm rolling with FD.
And this is my co-host, Big Jon.
Hey YouTube, it's your boy Big Jon. Thank you for rolling with me and FD here on What's the Play.
We're here every week.
Big Jon, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on?
Talking sports, the hobby, pop culture, and much more.
Catch us every Tuesday night talking about sports, the sports car hobby, and current events. And go Bears.
Most of these teams that do not care about if they're winning ball games. They care enough about, are you interested in what they're doing?
Beckett probably going out of business or getting bought sooner.
I don't think Kawhi Leonard, if he comes back, he's going to end up going back out.
Dion, you don't got to like that he cocky, but he got a right to be.
Big Jon, if Jimmy Butler goes to the Bay, I'm on the ground and I'm not. And you all know we're going to bring on guests from the hobby and everywhere else that you want to hear from.
You have to be prepared for haters. You have to be prepared for people who don't like you.
I started opening up my first packs in 1976.
I don't want to interrupt you, but while you're talking, I just got some background entertainment for you, but keep on.
What are you playing? Michael Jordan.
We got Junior in the house. And we got Paxton in the house.
A lot of players got to find a way to win based on their own strengths.
What would we say is John Morant's strength?
Attacking the rim.
You know, small guards attack the rim, don't play long. This is the What's the Play podcast.
I can't hear you. You're on mute for
Can you
me.
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're good.
I'm back in business, off mute. Well, I want to take the time to thank our guests for being here. The 860 Car Show, Joanna and Alex. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're doing good. Welcome.
Good. Thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah. You guys are doing some big things in 860, bringing a car show. This is the first car show you guys are hosting, right? Or putting on by yourselves?
This is, first one in the area down here.
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, we went to a couple card shows and, finally brought her along with me, and she got to see what the hobby's really like. And we left our first card show and she looks at me and she goes, I could plan this. I could do something like that. Luckily for her, she works in events for a, professional career. So this is easy for her. Getting her involved in this is really cool. A lot of times guys don't have their wives involved, but, having your wife involved in something like this is definitely pretty cool. And it's really opened up her eyes to seeing what this hobby is like and, the culture that it is and the community that's out there, just seeing everything. And, it's really, pretty cool for someone who is like, why are you buying so many cards all the time? to now be invested in it, So it's definitely a pretty cool thing to happen. Now if I come home with a box of cards, it's not really that big of a deal. It still is a big a deal, but it's did you get anything good? And was there anything numbered?
Yeah.
That's always the key. Was there anything numbered?
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Oh, good.
In fact, I did bring home a box last night.
You got this.
And she goes, she looks at the card. I got an autograph and she goes, hey, that's not an on-card auto. It's probably not worth as much.
There you go.
So she's learning.
Yeah, so you teaching her about the hobby. Nice,
yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
So again, Alex, John, tell us about your background. How did you guys start collecting, get into cards?
Yeah, so
how did you start getting into cards and collecting?
Yeah, it's kind of been really when I was a kid, I did collect baseball cards. Then started really playing baseball and got out of really the collecting, and then probably around about a year ago, I was watching videos on Facebook, Instagram, all that. And I was like, just thinking to myself, I really want to get back into this, but never really had someone to do it with. And I walked into one of my coworkers' offices one day and I saw her watching a video of somebody ripping cards. And I was like, wait, do you collect cards? And she goes, yes, I do. And from that day, that was probably September of last year. I started, really getting into cards and, collecting baseball cards, getting in when Top Series update series came out, chasing Paul Skeens, Ellie De La Cruz, the three Jacksons, what a time to actually get started into it,
Definitely an expensive time to get started into it.
It was. But yeah, no, I mean, I still had all my cards from when I was a kid at my parents' house, went and grabbed those. Actually, my dad pulled out a bunch of cards from the 70s and 80s. So looking back at those vintage cards, pretty cool. But really, took a, big deep dive into getting back into the hobby and seeing what was out there. Liking some of the new product that's coming out. Excited for, some of the stuff to come out later this year. One of my favorite things is Topps Cosmic Chrome, both for baseball and football. Love that design, love that product. So can't wait for that to come out this year. But, really just found some people that were in the hobby, asked them a bunch of questions, and then just started and got on my way. Built up a pretty good collection. From what I have been able to get out and vend at some shows in Connecticut. But, it was time to, really bring one closer to us because, as you had mentioned before, it's about, some of the shows are about 45 minutes from where we are in Connecticut. So getting something down in southeastern Connecticut was definitely something that we wanted to do. Grow the hobby here, and see what people have in this area.
Well, we appreciate it. You said something, you get back in, you did a lot of research. What type of research did you do? Was it like just videos? Did you the local card shops?
Yeah, so it was a bunch of videos. It was reaching out to, my coworkers who were into the hobby, asking them what I should be looking for, all that stuff. And then, right around November, there was the local card shop that opened up in Norwich. Made a good connection up there with Chris at All Ball Sports and More. Have a good connection with him. He'll be one of our vendors at the show on June 1st. So definitely, seeing the community that it is, it's definitely something cool to be involved in. And, I'm learning every day, trying to get, my PC down, which right now is Rafael Devers. And, for all those Red Sox fans out there who are kind of sour on him now, I'm still sticking with him. Even though he's playing hardball with the Red Sox right now, he still is my PC.
Yeah, I was just reading the other day that he may be gone soon.
No, we're not saying that. Hey, you're in LA. They can afford that $300 million contract out there.
That's true.
From a Rafi standpoint, right? I see where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You went and signed, Bregman. Didn't know I'm the face of the team. No conversation with me about signing Bregman. No real conversation about me playing DH. I agreed to it. You tell me leave my glove at home, and for playing first base is not something you can do at the fly. And he's not like 6'2". He's like 5'9", 5'11".
No, he's probably over 6 feet. He's a pretty good sized dude.
Exactly.
But I mean, the way they rolled it out, I agree with you. I'm Rafi Devers. I have his back. That's my guy. Starting what was it, 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. I was kind of like, oh man, my PC's taking a hit right now. But got to stick with my guy. I've been a fan of his ever since he got to the Red Sox. Always will be. But I definitely agree with you on that. I'm with Rafi there.
They chose Rafi over Mookie. Like they had Mookie. Who else they had? Bogarts, and they chose Rafi. This is who we're gonna. So you just can't be that uninclusive. I don't want to say disrespectful, but uninclusive with your star player, especially about changing positions during the season.
Yeah.
They have talent in that. The one thing that's not going for them is they have talent in that farm system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they have a lot of guys waiting to come up, and and play. So he's got a image-wise, it may not have been the best thing for a public image-wise, but I understand it.
Yep.
And they got a good coach, right? Cora will talk to him, talk him down. We'll see. But I agree he shouldn't be playing first base. Put him at third. Just
keep
don't
him
do like
keep him at DH. Let him hit. That's what he does.
And as long as he hit, the fans will be back on his side. That's all he got to do is hit.
Yeah.
He hit 30 home runs. It's all good.
Yeah. What is he? He started 0 for 19. He's already hitting over 280.
Yeah.
But
baseball is what got me back in. 2020 Series 1 is what got me back into collecting. So definitely my sport, being a Cubs fan, I'm loving PCA and this movement of the Cubs. Very surprised with how bad the Orioles are doing this season. With all that young talent, to go from almost a playoff team to being almost last in the league, it's very, very interesting.
And I think that just comes down to pitching. I mean, they had Corbin Burns last year, bona fide ace. A guy would go out and just give you 6-7 innings, let that offense, relax a little bit and score some runs. I'll say it, it's one of my wife's favorite last names in the game, Santander. Going to Toronto. That really hurt, taking that bat out of that lineup, even though he's not doing too great in Toronto. But when the Orioles are good, it's fun for the AL East.
Yes.
And we were down in Baltimore last year, went to a game down there, saw them play the Texas Rangers, and that stadium is electric when they're good. So it's definitely good to have at least 3 teams competitive in the AL East. Obviously Red Sox and Yankees, but if the Orioles are that third team that is competitive, it's definitely good.
Because it doesn't look like Toronto's ever going to be competitive.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Even though they gave Vladdy all that money.
Yeah.
Which is good for Vladdy.
The last time they won the World Series was 92, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
So when you got back in the house, what kind of advice did your coworkers give you? Was it like go by sealed? Was it go by singles? Was it getting the breaking?
So it was get boxes. So anytime, I'd be in a store, I'd try and get a box, blaster, mega, whatever I could find. Started pulling some, good cards. I'll never forget this one card. My first ever numbered card was a Griffin Jacks to 150. Griffin Jacks, relief pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, but still definitely you pull that first numbered card and you're like, I did it. I got that first numbered card out of the way. First auto was a Jackson Holiday, Bowman Sterling 2023. Bought a box from a store in the area. Pulled that. That was a nice card. So that was a good hit. And then going to card shows. So I went to Econ back in September of last year. Went in September. Picked up some nice cards. Picked up a Topps Chrome update mega box. Got a couple numbered cards in there, and then that's when I found breaking online, and been doing some breaks here and there, getting some good cards, doing some singles on there, and really building up my PC through that.
Is your PC just Devers, or do you have more Red Sox in it?
It's a combination of Devers, Rafaela, Tristan Casas, which unfortunate he went down with his season-ending injury, and then tried to get into Roman Anthony, but it's just hard to get his cards.
Expensive.
It's hard to get his cards. Very hard to get his cards.
His cards are so expensive. I've been trying to pick some of him up and just not worth it.
Yeah.
So we got a question in the chat. Brennan asked, "Who is your favorite breaker?"
Who's my favorite breaker? I would probably say Fuzzy on filth bombs.
Okay,
I like Fuzzy.
A good breaker.
Yeah.
So you're Fanatics Live or whatnot.
Yeah, I do Fanatics Live. I haven't gotten into whatnot yet, but filth bombs. His name's Fuzzy. He normally does baseball. Sometimes is into football. My username is Atune. So anytime he sees me in the chat, he always goes crazy.
Okay.
So he's definitely a good character in there.
Miss Joanne, do you have a PC as well, or?
I do not.
Not.
I'm just along for the ride.
So, Joanne, how do you spend your what are some of your favorite things to do?
Well, I'll tell you, in the last 10 years we've been together, the baseball has become a thing in our family, right? We watch every game. Okay. We don't miss anything. And Alex will say, I'm a sucker for live events, right? So I enjoy going to actual games, and it could be anything. I'll go to a golf tournament. I'll go to a football game, a basketball game, a baseball game, you name it.
All right.
I'll go there. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's pretty cool. So you guys get out. That's a nice dynamic to have.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's like, I'll go with you. Begrudgingly, we'll have a good time.
Yeah. Well, with her, it's why could we be watching it on the TV when we could be at the game? So
right.
I'd
rather be there.
I'm not going to complain with that.
No, not at all. Especially if it's Fenway.
Yeah. Yeah.
2-hour drive in Boston to Boston, not bad.
Yeah, and then we got a daughter that loves the WNBA, so we go to the Connecticut Sun games often. Love going up there. It's
Does she have a favorite player?
She likes Blaze, the mascot.
She likes the mascot. She's 5.
She is petrified of him, but from afar, she loves him.
There you go.
That's a kid on age. WNBA started off hot. We're definitely going to talk about the WNBA.
Yeah.
That's cool. I got to get to a game. I got a coworker that's going to a couple of games this year, and I got to make my way down to a game.
Yeah.
This summer. So, FD, you got anything?
My question is, I know you're on the East Coast, but who would you say is the better player, Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani? Tough question.
I'm gonna. Right, I would say this year, as of right now, I would say Aaron Judge.
Okay.
As hard as it is to say that as a Red Sox fan, that dude is on fire.
He is.
He is on fire. But if you have Shohei Ohtani winning MVPs as a hitter, and also putting up Cy Young numbers, you can't go against that. That dude, if he's hitting and pitching, he should not win an MVP. Because in my eyes, if you're doing both, that is the most valuable player.
I agree. Yeah. But Aaron Judge is he's very, very special.
Yeah.
And I remember after he hit the 60 home runs in a season, people say, "Oh, that's just a fluke." Not just a fluke.
He could go down if he keeps this up as one of the best right-handed hitters ever to play the game.
Absolutely.
And I think he got called up at like 25, 26.
Mm-hmm. He was old.
Like imagine if he got called up like 22.
Yeah.
Like Juan Soto did. He got caught up very, very late from what call-ups happened.
Juan Soto was like 20. Right?
Yeah, I was just over here doing some research on Roman Anthony after this comment. He wasn't on my radar, but I will check this guy out.
Number 1 prospect in the game.
Mm-hmm.
20. I think he just turned 21.
Yeah, I saw that. Just turned 21.
Yeah, dude, he's a monster. And then we got Marcelo Meyer. He's down there too, kicking around.
Mm-hmm.
Future's bright for the Red Sox.
That is. So you say Topps Cosmic Chrome is your favorite product?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular reason why? Is it the inserts? Is it the design? What do you like about that product?
I just like the look. It's just a cool, crisp look. Like the inserts. I just the look of the cards. It's just something different. You don't see that, in a normal card, and it's just I like the look of them. I like the graphics, the designs, and everything.
I think in that set, the planetary pursuits are some of the best chases without being like kabooms or stuff like that. Like, if we get a sun, a Mars, different number of cards and different images in the back, those are great, and they sell very well too.
Yeah.
If you look on eBay at some of those planetary pursuit cards, even $9.99 sells them about $20.
Yeah,
stuff that's not even rare.
Yeah, I mean, I like the white hole refractors; those are pretty cool. I think it's the Aqua Shimmer to 99. Got a couple of those. Devers, a Yoshida. The football one the best football Topps Chrome I have is a Bryce Young auto to 50. So second year, but still, he turned it around last year. That's a pretty cool card. But yeah, it's just the look of them is what I like.
So you guys do shows locally. What made you decide to want to be a vendor?
I looked at him one day. I said, "Is there anything else we could be doing with these cards instead of just collecting them and just getting more and more in the house?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well, there's card shows around." I go, "Okay." And the only one I knew of was the one at the casino, which we do. And I said, "Is there anything smaller, like on a local level?" And then the first one we found was one in Clinton, which I went to with him. And then I said, "Okay." I go, "All right, these people are coming out, right? They're spending the money." And I said, "Why don't we do one near us in Mystic? Because there's nothing over there." So,
yeah, I think the one in Clinton, I think I did go to that one because it was right by the R&D shop, right? In like Gilson.
Yeah, I think it was at the town hall.
Yeah, I went to that show.
Yeah,
very little tight, but it was a good show. I saw a lot of interest in that show when I was there.
Yeah,
I try to get around and get out. My wife's a little bit the same way. Like, can you do something else besides just take up space?
Right.
They got banished to a closet in the guest room.
Hey, we only like to sell so we can buy more. It's not like we want to really get rid of anything.
That's right. That's what I'm learning now, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna sell them, but we're gonna keep buying more of them.
Yeah.
It's to add to your PC. You sell the ones that you can sell for value, and then get the cards that you want to keep.
Right. Somebody else gotta like these cards that I don't like. They wouldn't make them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a no-brainer to get something in this area.
So when you're setting up at these shows on the weekends, are y'all doing it together? Are you doing it by yourself?
So I've done 3 shows. We did the one in Clinton. She came with me that time, and then I've done 2 up in the hard-hitting one in New Britain. I did one by myself, but with the coworker that that really propelled me into this hobby. And then this past Sunday, she came up with me. So she'll be there on the June 1st, and I'm assuming moving forward she'll tag along like she normally does. She normally does. It's definitely a something that we can just do together, spend the day. She said we got a 5-year-old. It's nice to have the parents get out, give her to the grandparents for a little bit, get some alone time, adult time.
That is a good thing.
Yeah. So and then she sat there with me for 5 hours, and I brought her to Eline Cannons in Middletown. Got her some lunch, and then carried on with our day.
All right. I'm just curious, Ms. Joanne, you don't see a lot of women at the shows nationally. So what are your perspective on being at the car show? What are the things that you see that you like, that that you want to see change differently in the hobby from your perspective?
So being from an events background, the first show we did in Clinton was, it was a small show, but you could see the community that this hobby has, which I never thought, I'll be honest, I had no idea what we were getting into. Right. And then when we went to Mohegan, it was wild. The amount of people that were in this show, the amount of vendors that are there. And I'm looking around and it is insane. You are, up against everybody. Everyone's trying to look at the same tables and everyone takes their time and the vendors are talking to everybody. And it's awesome, right? Like this is a cool thing to get into. And there's money involved, right? There's cards for thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And being a part of it, it's pretty cool. You're seeing, people like kids, 10-year-olds up to, 75-year-olds. They're all looking for the same things. It's awesome to be a part of.
Have either one of you been to the National or Fanatics events that are going on?
No, we were actually just talking about going to the Fanatics in June this year. So we'll see if we get there.
But definitely interested in the National.
Okay.
I know that's in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely, that's another one we'd be interested to.
When you get there, I would love to hear. I know Big Jon would too. We would probably have you back on to hear your perspective of those shows.
Yeah. Yeah, Fanatics Fest is going to be a tough one. It's our daughter's birthday weekend that weekend, so
just trying to work around it.
Just trying to work our schedule around so we can sneak out and sneak in.
Understood.
Yeah.
We had a question here from Brendan, or a statement. He said he's been watching to see if Pete Rose is getting a price bump. What are you all's thoughts on Pete Rose potentially going to the Hall of Fame?
Indifferent.
Okay.
I would say just indifferent. I think it could have been handled both ways a little bit differently, in my opinion. He's obviously one of the best hitters to ever play the game. Understand he did what he did and was banned from baseball. Do I think if baseball was ultimately going to do this, should they have done it when he was still alive? I think that's definitely something, but indifferent. I'm not really into vintage cards. And I know Pete Rose isn't on any reprints or new product. Maybe he might be moving forward. But definitely indifferent about the whole situation.
I got you.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Topps coming out with a Pete Rose first Bowman in his new Bowman sets that they do in a couple of years. Yeah. I agree. Like, with Pete Rose, it was a lifetime ban. He died. Ban is over with. You can't, it's his lifetime, not the lifetime of all of baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand it being lifted. I don't see people who are upset that it's lifted. I don't really see their point of view. I don't really see the point of view of people who are happy. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as we get further away, less and less is going to be known about how he bet on baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he bet when he's a player? Did he bet when he's a manager? The only thing I can remember is that he bet when he's a manager. I'm not sure whether he bet when he's a player from what I can remember now.
Mm.
So, and I don't think he goes right on the ballot until another 2 years. So more and more things are going to be forgotten or forgiven by the time he gets on the ballot. Gets on the ballot.
Yeah, I mean,
I was about 12, 13 when all this went down with Pete Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I've met Pete Rose before. I'm kind of happy that it's lifted. Should have been lifted. I saw him in Vegas once. Not like we're friends, but I saw him in Vegas, and I'm asking him about this, and he said to me that he didn't think it would be lifted until he was dead. I just think people should know what's going on with them before they actually pass away. Same way with Buck O'Neil going into the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
Like, he should have known about that before he went to the Hall of Fame. And then I always go back. I know baseball is a different sport, right? But Paul Hornung bet on games when he was playing with the Green Bay Packers, still in the NFL Hall of Fame. And I know it's a different sport, and it traditionally has different ideologies about gambling and things like that. But probably if Pete Rose never wrote down his bets, probably never been called. I mean, there's a physical evidence of him betting on games and making calls from the dugout, doing all kinds of stuff. So it'll be good to see him maybe in the Hall of Fame one day, but we'll see.
But now you can't watch a game without getting the DraftKings, sports betting.
What I'm saying. And
You would bet them all over the place.
Say when the NBA, we have players who have been kicked out of the league for betting on games.
Yeah, you're promoting betting all around at this point, and he was been retired or gone for the game a long time. So I can see the point of view. Like, we've changed as a society, as a sport.
Absolutely.
You're now accepting this gambling money, but we're going to keep you out because you gambled on baseball. But we're still taking the money.
Baseball team going to Vegas now. You got the Oakland A's about to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
You got the Aces that are in Vegas. You're going to have an NBA team at some point in Vegas. So we'll see.
Yep.
It's interesting. We'll see. Baseball and its traditions.
Brendan has another question. Who signed more, Pete Rose or Bob Feller?
Pete Rose, probably.
Probably Pete Rose. But Bob Feller and Ted Williams at the end was signing thing. I think I was maybe 12, 13 years old. Saw Bob Feller at the show. They're signing. They were signing. So.
All right. So let's move on to the 860 card show. How did we secure the vendor? What are your plans for the show? What are your thoughts leading up? We're about 10 days away, 10, 11 days away. What are your thoughts leading up to the show?
Nervous? We are excited.
Right.
I'm gonna pass the microphone to my wife here.
There we go.
I might be the one that's selling the cards at the table with the big 860 card show tablecloth across it. But the real brains behind the operation here is Joanna, and I don't think we would have been able to do this without her. She's the one that's in contact with all the vendors. As I said, we got she locked up 22 vendors and 33 tables. So
hey, I'm one of them. Yay!
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right. So I'll pass it on to her. Give her time for her to shine for this show.
Well, I will say when we first started, it was on the way home from that Clinton show. I said, I think we should just do it, right? Let's just see what happens. And if no one reaches out and wants to vend, then whatever. At least we tried. So I used to work at the Hilton in Mystic prior to Mohegan. So I reached out to my old boss and I said, hey, I'm looking for one of the ballrooms, the smaller one for right now. We want to put on a card show. And he was like, okay, no problem. Just give me the date. We'll hold it. And then, whatever happens, happens. So we set the date. Alex made the flyer. We started putting it out everywhere. And within a day and a half, maybe, we got our first 3 vendors. And I'm like, oh, this is happening. This is happening for real. So we said, I was like, let's just sit with 20 tables for now. And then we'll work our way up to the bigger ballrooms or whatever. And as we were going, people were getting 2 tables. They want 3 tables, we're still getting vendors reaching out now saying, do you still have space available? And I'm like, I'll put you on a wait list. I go, but we're not doing any more. So we got up to 22 tables in the smaller room. And then I reached back out to my old boss and I said, any shot we can get the bigger room just so there's a little more space. And he said, sure, no problem. So we have the larger ballroom now, which is just about 3,300 square feet. And we're at 33 tables. So, I mean, it's working, right? People are out there and we're excited to be a part of it.
And kind of a field of dreams, right? You
Yeah.
build it and they will come.
That's right.
That's the hope there. You know, we've been posting all over social media. You know, we talking to everybody at the Hard Hitting show this past week. You know, prior shows that we've been at. We do have I don't know if you saw Big Jon, but All Ball Sports and More is doing a trade night that Friday night. I'll be there promoting the show and also doing some trade nights on Friday, March 30th. So, you know, we're just trying to create a buzz here in this area so that we can continue something like this moving forward. You know, obviously, with it being our first show, there's a lot of unknowns. You know, but talking to people who have put on shows before, we're pushing all the right buttons, getting the show out there, you know, posting it where it needs to be seen and, you know, where people look. And, you know, so we're hoping, you know, we're really looking for a good turnout, you know, for show number 1, and then, you know, see what we can do moving forward. You know, we're not going to try and, you know, rush it every month, you know, to start. Probably be every couple months to start until we get a nice, good following, and then probably increase the cadence moving forward. You know, so, you know, just definitely keeping a local show in the area for, you know, people to bring their kids out, you know, especially kids getting the kids into the hobby, whether it be sports, whether it be Pokemon, you know, whatever it is, you know, getting people out there to see what we have and what we can provide for this area.
Definitely a lot of Pokemon in this area. So when you were looking at vendors, were you looking at like from what criteria were you looking at? From a mix of what they had to sell? From did they have a social media following? Have they vended before? What were kind of things you guys were looking at and choosing the people that you decided to vend with first? Who asked first?
We wanted to get a mix, right? So we wanted to, at first, we just wanted to do an even amount of sports versus Pokemon. And then as the more reaching out, there's some that have done multiple shows in the area. Some that we have a gentleman coming down from Massachusetts coming to vend at the show. We have some people that this is their first show. We have one person who makes 3D printed Pokeballs, and that's her first show. Okay. So it's a wide range of vendors, just so we can get people in, right, to see what it's about. Whether it's the first show they're attending, or if they go all around Connecticut and New England. So
yeah, that's good. It's gonna be some everybody. I know I'm going to be I'm setting up, and I have a friend who's going to set up with me, and he has a couple 3D print things. I just want to make sure I had enough stuff to fill out a table for nicely. Yeah. But I got value bands, I got wrestling, WNBA. So I'm more for looking just to do it. This is one of my bucket list things for like at the beginning of every year, me and FD, we always talk on the show, like what our goals to do for the hobby, right? Whether it's buying cars or what we can experience or going places. And last year and this year, this has been our number one thing, to vend at a show. I've been at shows, I've been on the other side of the table, I've made deals, I've bought cars, I've made friends, I've talked to people doing the content, you know, gotten really close with, you know, Scott doing the EC3s, and, you know, make sure I'm there and trying to help support them. So when I seen you guys pop up, and I think I seen it on like Facebook in one of the Facebook groups locally, I was like, let me just try. It's the first one. You know, it's in June. I don't think I have anything going on that week. And then like, yeah, let's just try and do it. And so I'm very thankful for you guys, you know, allowing me to do that. I'm very excited. I have no expectations as a vendor as far as to meet people, talk, and kind of have fun. Yeah. Other than that, anything else on top of that from what I sell or what I buy is gravy. I just want to kind of, you know, we come here, when we ask people like, what are you seeing when you have shows from a buying and selling standpoint, trading point, and I want to be able to see it from that point of view as a vendor, what people are coming up with, what people are talking about, what's the buzz, you know, especially in our area, because you know in New Britain, you know down up in what's it called? The other store there, EC3, there's a lot of people are coming, but locally here, when you go to some of the local shops, they're never really busy.
Right.
So you can be under the impression that, hey, there's not a card community here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a show like this is going to show that there is a card community in Southeast Connecticut where we can, make friends, make acquaintances, and be able to make, deals and help people build their collections together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The community part of the
yeah, I think that's, that was the objective of this, is to really get that pulse, see what that pulse is for Southeastern Connecticut and card collecting. I mean, I will, to your point, John, I do go to Walmart's, Targets, all that, try and buy, see, and then there's really hardly any product on those shelves, even on restock days. So, the fact that we see that, there's definitely demand out there for cards, and trying to go, grab a box of Bowman that just came out, hard to find, so it's my hope is that the boxes are there and they're already bought before I got there. And then that means that there's people looking for cards and looking for something to do in this area. We do have those, a couple local shops. I mentioned Chris before, but we got the Prowess over in Waterford.
Prowess,
they have a lot of TCG and Pokemon, but they do have a small sports section. But it's definitely going into those retail places, not seeing anything on the shelves. It makes me wonder how many people are interested in cards in this area.
Every time I go into Prowess, they have somebody playing some type of TCG.
Oh yeah,
3 or 4 people playing the TCG every single time.
Yep.
Even from when they was in the mall, and even to their new location. That's all. Every time I'm going to, no matter what time of day, somebody's playing the TCG.
Yeah, there's always guys at those tables playing those card games.
And there's another TCG place in Groton down by the post office. Have you been there before?
What is it? Is that the Citadel Games, or is that a different one?
No, that one down from that.
No, I haven't. Do have a couple coworkers that are into the Magic and all that stuff, and they mention those places.
Yeah, they do Magic and a bunch of Pokemon singles and stuff. That they even got to a bigger space, and they've been almost like 2 years down in business.
Wow.
So I'm just not a TCG guy. I have Pokemon, but I'm a baseball, wrestling, basketball type of person. So, like going in those places is just to get supplies more than get cards.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll let you go.
I was just going to ask, when you and Joanna were growing up, did y'all play sports or anything?
I did. I was a baseball player.
Oh, I this.
Yeah. Played Division I baseball at UMass Amherst.
I can tell.
What position?
Oh yeah.
If I was a catcher. If you could see me, you could probably tell that. Pretty stocky build, So
I knew something was there just by your interest in baseball and your level of detail talking about the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to me. I played football in high school and college, and you just look at it quite a bit different than some other people. So congratulations on that.
Yeah. And then, got out of college, coached high school baseball back at my high school for 5 years. So was heavily involved there, and then got out of it for a couple of years. And then my cousin coaches at another local school in the area, coached with him for the past couple of years. So a lot of, years of coaching experience, and then finally had to hang up the high school coaching experience and move on to T-ball. Okay. So I got those 4 and 5 year olds really in shape, playing T-ball right now. So yeah, definitely. Baseball is definitely, possibly one of my favorite things in life. Outside of obviously my my wife and daughter, I got
baseball trumps everything.
As she mentioned before, I want to call myself a 162 guy, but I probably watch at least 4 to 5 innings of 150 Red Sox games a year. If the Red Sox are off or rained out, I'm turning on even the Yankees or the Mets because we get both those stations, or if there's something on MLB. So I'm definitely just like a huge baseball fan. I do like football. Giants fan. Mm-hmm. I know. Red Sox, Giants, but John, we're 2 hours from both cities.
Oh, I understand.
We're 2 hours from both cities. It's a big mix in this area.
That's Connecticut, right?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
In general, you're either Boston or New York with your team. So, like, I'm from Chicago, so I'm a Bears fan. I'm a Bulls fan, Cubs fan. So I've lost a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely kind of weird being a Red Sox when everybody's like, "Oh, what, so you like the Patriots?" No, I don't like the Patriots. I'm a Giants fan.
Okay.
But I do like football. Ref high school football in the area. So I do definitely stay involved with that. So it's sports is kind of life in this house as she had mentioned earlier. It's kind of funny when your 4-year-old daughter sees Scotty Scheffler win the PGA Championship and goes, "Look, that's Scotty."
You're doing something right.
Yeah. So she is definitely, getting into that now. So that's good. That's something to look forward to when she gets a little bit older, and all that stuff. But yeah, sports is passion. I'm trying to turn that into sports card collecting. I do have a big passion for that, you would say.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Very good. I got a hint of something I just wanted to ask about it. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As sports is very fun. It's a very good outlet to have.
Mm-hmm.
So when you've been a Giants fan, what did you think when they passed on Shedeur Sanders in the draft?
For a dart, not just pass. For a dart.
So I got a couple coworkers that are Giants fans, and prior to the draft, we were all like, "What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing?" And we were sitting there game planning, like, what are we doing? What are the Giants doing this year? And the day of the draft, I sat down with this guy, and I was like, an ideal situation is they draft Carter, and then they trade back into the first round and draft Jackson Dart. And we both looked at each other like, that's ideal situation. We both walked in on Friday morning and jumped up and down, excited. I liked Jackson Dart, not gonna lie, liked him. I would have been, I think the kid's got some real guts. He's definitely someone that Dable can mold into something good. And I'm not saying anything, bad about Shedeur. I think to be honest, he's going to be starting for the Cleveland Browns this year. At some point. I just think, reading the reports on why the Giants passed on him, you gotta defend the Giants there. He wasn't prepared.
Yeah, no, there's no excuse for not being prepared.
Yeah,
there's none whatsoever for not being prepared. I think me and FD agree on that. No matter what information he had, or in that intro, I say Deion Sanders has a reason to be cocky. He's earned that right. Shedeur, you ain't necessarily earned that right.
Yeah. So this is my philosophy. I think Shedeur, because I've had some friends, I've never done this personally, have gone to job interviews and didn't want the job. So they've done whatever they could do to not get the job. Maybe they already had an offer from another place they wanted to work, or whatever it may be. It sounded to me like the guy went into a room and told teams he didn't want to be there because he didn't want to play there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back, you remember Deion saying this guy's not going to play in any cold weather areas. Mm-hmm. And then I think when they started slipping in the draft, they realized they probably got to go back on some of that stuff. But when he was in that interview phase, it sounded like he went into some rooms and made sure he didn't get that job.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, we'll look in the future and say, was that the right move for him? Was that a silly move for him? Did it work out for him? Whatever it may be. But you would think it's a pretty risky move to go in and say, I'm straight here. I don't want to be here. I'll go over there with it, though. But so we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, where did he want to go? He wanted to be in either New York or Las Vegas, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, what's your rookie contract? 3-4 seasons?
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
And then first rounders get the 5th-year option.
So if you go past that and you're still a baller,
yeah,
then we'll see where you are going. But we also know that the average NFL career is like 3.25 years. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think all these guys, though, I think him and his brother both know. I like the game. I may even love the game. I don't need the game. And they come across like that.
Yeah.
They don't come across as someone that needs this paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out here and have fun and get paid in the process. But my father is Dion. And like I was telling Big Jon a couple of weeks ago, I started doing some reading and some researching. The house that Shedeur had the party at for his draft, he technically owned. That was his house. Dion is there sometimes and does some filming of content, different stuff there. But on paper, that's Shedeur Sanders' home.
Wow.
So he's not.
Okay, but we are in all sports, besides baseball, and baseball's getting there, that we're in the Nepo baby era. There's no what we call trench baby. Nobody's, now the players are trying to get to the NFL and NBA so they can get their mama home. Yeah. It's a lot of juniors and the thirds and the fourths and grandsons are getting into these leagues now. You see it. What is it like? Prince Fielder's grandson is now in the minor leagues.
It's his son.
It's his son. Oh,
yeah, he's got his first Bowman this year.
Grandson.
Yeah.
It's his grandson.
He's got his first Bowman.
Vlad has 2 boys in baseball now. Like it's a lot more juniors and the thirds coming than it is kids coming up poor or middle income. And I just want my mom not to struggle anymore. You still have those, but it's more 50-50 than it was, 70-20.
Yeah, and Neil is changing that. So
Neil's changing as well.
I was trying to get my mom a house. I probably already got it.
And
I'm working on something else. And you want to pay me? Because I think Shedeur made $4.65 million, and Neil, his signing contract is less than that. So it's a new day. And then you have veterans and veterans who are now with teams that don't like that.
Yeah.
They remember coming in struggling. Now these kids are not. There's gonna be more people that come to interviews expressing themselves or with headphones allegedly around their neck playing music. There'll be more of that.
So baseball question. Do you think Soto regrets not re-signing with the Yankees?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I don't think so. I think this weekend was a tough weekend for him. He'll be fine.
I didn't watch a lot of the games, but the clips I saw of him just barely trying just really irked me. Like you barely trying on defense, barely trying to run out a single. That irks me.
I think it was a tough weekend for him. Yeah.
Just baseball is one of those passion sports, right? It's that like to be you are an elite athlete if you are a Major League Baseball player.
Yep.
If you can hit a fastball, you are one of the best athletes in the world. Over basketball and football, that's like the hardest thing to do. So just one of those things that bothers me. This is also, gang, we all play as kids for fun. You ever get 4 or 5 friends around, we hitting, you catching, and switching out batting and playing. So,
but I know New York is a special place, right? But Soto was a hired hand before he got to New York.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a hired hand once he leaves New York.
Yeah.
But New Yorkers don't think like that.
Yankees fans don't think like that.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Nope. It's all about the Bronx Bombers to them.
Mm-hmm.
I had the chance to go to the new stadium. Great stadium.
Yeah.
Wonderful stadium. And I took the train in from Manhattan. Great stadium. So I know the history of the organization. I get it. You know, this is not like I remember I went to the Washington Nationals in 2011 before they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
They had like Mickey Mantle on the wall and like greats of other teams, Cal Ripken on the wall. They had done nothing yet. This is before Soto was even there. So you go to a place that has a real rich history. I get it. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to my first baseball game there a couple summers ago. First time I'd ever been there was I went there 5 times for the Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh, okay.
So saw some football in a baseball stadium before I saw baseball there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in college, coming out of high school. In college, I used to work at the old Comiskey in Chicago for the White Sox. And it was UX Cellular. Like, that's a beautiful ballpark. Like, Mark Burley would always be one of my favorite pitchers, even though I hate the White Sox. Mm-hmm. Just because I knew it was a short day at work when he was pitching.
Yeah.
He got the business.
Yeah, he did. He caught the ball and threw it.
He didn't need a pitch clock. Okay, get back in the batter's box. Next pitch is coming real quick. 2 hours, this game is over with.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's what a lot of those White Sox pitchers do. I mean, look at Chris Sale. He gets the ball, came from the White Sox. He gets the ball, throws the ball. Now I'm seeing it with Crochet. That dude throws the ball, doesn't even need a pitch clock. Gets down to 8 seconds and he's already delivering a pitch. You know, they must work on tempo over there.
Yeah.
They work on tempo a lot. It's one of their philosophies with pitchers.
Yeah.
Being able to make the batter uncomfortable by speeding the batter up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the pitch clock is better for us watching it on TV. I don't know if it is at the game, but I think it's just better for watching it on TV.
Oh, of course.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, I'd be up until 10:30 at night watching a 7 o'clock game. Now I'm 9:15, 9:30.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you the truth, when I go to a game, like I have a 9-year-old son, after about the 4th inning, I get up and walk around. Like I walk around, show them the stadium and different vendors and look at different statues, especially if it's a Dodgers game. Looking at the history of the game, who was Roy Campanella. I'm looking at a bunch of stuff. Oh, man, somebody hit a home run. It's like the 7th, 8th inning.
Yeah.
I'm not still in my seat. And I remember a time where I never left my seat.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching the game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, the day after our show, I'm going on business travel to Cincinnati, and the Reds are in town, so I get to go see Great American Ballpark.
Oh, you're going. That's a great time.
Yeah. So definitely excited about that.
Cool.
Hotel we're at is like 4 or 5 blocks from the field, so
cool.
Got some work to do, and then go watch some baseball at night.
Get to see Ely get down. It's cool.
Yeah. And then they're playing the Brewers, so we get to see Churio as well.
Very cool.
So you're a big autograph guy, or for your cars? Are you a big autograph guy, trying to get the autos, or?
Yeah, trying to get autos, trying to get low numbers. Not a big relic guy. Actually, you asked the question what her PC is. It's Jaron Duran. That's her favorite player. So I actually have a card out getting graded for her. Got one of his tribute autos. So, he's got a nice autograph. But yeah, definitely looking for autographs. I mean, John, you'll see when you're vending at shows, a lot of times people are looking for case hits, autographs, low numbers, all that stuff. So, there's some guys out there that are Definitely looking for those higher value cards. And then, you'll see a bunch of kids going through your value bins, trying to make their first deal, for cards. And that's a pretty cool experience. Had a kid the other day sorting through all the cards and just, I had price tags listed on them. It was probably about $20 worth of cards, had a bunch of them out, like 15 cards. And his mom's telling him to, what are you thinking? What do you want to do? He goes, well, I really want these cards. And I look at him and go, what would you pay for those cards? And he goes, I was thinking $10. And I go, that's what I was thinking too. So it was nice to make that kid's day, for cards that, I probably have multiples of, and, but, to see him walk away with a smile, as a vendor at a table, that was pretty cool. Had a kid wearing a Wally the Green Monster hat. And I had I purposely did this. I had a Wally the Green Monster card with a $20 price tag on it. So that people were flipping through my my value boxes, they would just go, what, $20 for this card? So kid comes up, has the Wally Green Monster hat, tells me about the Red Sox game he went to the week before. And I go, hey, I got a card for you. I hand him the Wally Green Monster. The dad looks at me and goes, it's a $20 card. I go, no, it's not. It's about a $1 card that I put $20 on for a kid like him. So, it's definitely that type of stuff.
I am finding it. You talk about pricing. It is taxing pricing your cards.
Yes.
Oh, that's work. Yeah,
it's work.
It's work.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, I was looking through. If it was less than $5, it's going in a dollar bin. Like, I'm not doing all this work, right? It just they can get it for $1, get a deal, and we'll we'll go from there. I'm not going through all this just to make potentially make a couple extra bucks. I'd rather make somebody's day. I'm really upset. So this is questioning for me. Now, you guys provide tables, and I'm assuming chairs, right? So everybody has to bring their own cases for the cars and display cases.
Yeah, so we'll have chairs and tablecloths for everybody.
I'm gonna kill Amazon because I ordered me a nice display case. Post come yesterday and didn't get delivered, and I told them today, like, if it's not here by Thursday, it's critical to have it by Thursday. That's what I told them. So it better be here Thursday, or we gonna have some problems. So every week I've been asking, like, just people for advice, like, well, what's the good thing? One of the things was, hey, get a nice display case.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll get a display case. If I only do a show once, I can use it in the house. If I do it multiple times, I have a display case. So that is the last piece of like items that I need to have what I envision my table should look like, be like a nice table, what I want it to look like. Everything else is just pricing cards and going through. And one of the things I tell people, if you have a lot of cards, you should go through your cards once a quarter. And you'll be surprised at what you find that's went up in value that you didn't even know. I was looking through my cards yesterday, and I found a number to 60 Garrett Crochet Optic Rookie, red. It's like a $50 card. And I didn't even know I had it. It's like, look at that.
Funny you say that. I was, I put a bunch of little team packs together, especially, for kids that come up to the table and are looking at cards. I go, what's your favorite team? And I throw them a little team pack. I was putting together a Phillies team pack, and I had a Bryce Harper insert from this year's Top Series 1 Stars of the MLB. I look at it, and I when I opened the pack, didn't realize anything. I look at it, and I'm like, this looks different. Like, you just look at it, and it kind of looks the same. I'm like, this just looks a little different. Flip it over. It's gold out of 50. I'm like, you would have never known. And I was about to throw that in a little free giveaway pack with the Team Phillies. So now anytime I open up new Top top series one, I always make sure I flip the card over to see if it's a numbered stars of MLB. But yeah, it's definitely, going back through your collection and finding those little gems.
Oh yeah.
Is definitely something that you must do.
So even with series one, you got to be real careful to go through because it's a lot of short prints that you don't know until like the set's out for a while. You have to check the numbers on the back, what's different, go on top and look it up. And between that, golden mirrors, image variations, and then just super short prints. Like series one takes about a good month and a half to research to actually know exactly what you're looking for when you're looking through.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Like I was looking through, and I have 2020 image variations for Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Like, yes. Keeping these. Like, you're not going out. You're staying with me because you're a Cubs card and you won me a championship.
Yeah, the card I'm looking for is the top series one Rafael Devers Golden Mirror. So if anybody's going to be at the show who's listening to this, if you have it, come find me. I'll buy it.
Very good.
What does this gold mirror look like?
Check it out.
Him sitting on a bench taping a bat.
This set was really good this year. I haven't bought a lot of it yet, but it's very good.
Yep.
Let me bring it up so everybody can see. Now, do you guys get out to some of the minor league games around the area?
Yeah,
like the Worcester Red Sox?
Cool. No, we actually haven't been to any of those. We haven't been to Hartford. That's definitely something that we want to do this summer. Get out to see the Hartford Yard Goats and then go see the Worcester Red Sox. Just haven't been able to find time. But yeah, that's definitely a card right there.
That is a nice looking card. Because with baseball, I feel like baseball is the barometer of sports cards because you get the flash and the big numbers from modern day football, modern day basketball, but then when you see Amano sold for $5 million, or you see the $1 million for the Paul Skeens, like you still get those really high values from the vintage baseball. That that baseball is still king and collecting.
Yeah.
Plus, you can make a lot of money just prospecting on Bowman and collecting and holding than you can in any other sport.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Like you get Bowman cards are always sought after more than a lot of people's rookie cards. I'd rather have a first Bowman than some of these players' rookie cards.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Let's take Christian Campbell for example. I was at that card show in March, and the guy had a first Bowman auto, for about like a couple $100, and 2 weeks later he gets you made the team, blah blah blah. I saw on his eBay page it was almost double the price. And that's not even his rookie card. That's his first Bowman auto, and a lot of times people are chasing those first Bowmans. That's definitely a big product that people are looking for is those prospect first Bowmans. I did break a lot of Bowman draft this year. That was a good product. Got some good hits in that.
I didn't break a lot of Bowman draft this year for two reasons. One, going on a lot of vacations, so I need the money. And two, the Cubs prospects aren't highly rated.
Yeah.
To keep my wife from management, as we call her, from getting on me about buying 20 cards. My first rule is I buy my teams because I'm okay with holding it. I'm okay with having it. If I go into any other teams, it has to be a good deal because that I'm going to sell. So if it's the Cubs, it's the Bulls, that's all PC. I'm buying it. We ain't gonna talk about it. So they didn't have any great players that anybody saw off a big number. So I know I can buy all those 2 months from now for a great price on eBay and just get those draft picks as they come.
Yeah. Well, they did have Cam Smith. He was in the Cubs uniform.
Yeah.
Well, he's on Houston. His first Bowman was in the Cubs uniform. He was a sought after. He was one of the chase guys in there.
In draft this year?
Yeah, right. Cam Smith.
I thought it was in last year for some odd reason. But I will. Yeah, see, it's hard for me to collect them when they're not currently a Cub.
Yeah, because I think he was part of the. Yeah, he was part of the Kyle Tucker trade.
Yes. Which that trade is working out well for everybody involved.
Yeah, because now his Bowman 25, he's in the Houston uniform.
Yeah, and he's a rookie in that. And I'm glad he's having a good. That tells me the Cubs scouting department now have an eye for actual talent. But now it's all for naught. They don't re-sign Kyle Tucker, right? Yeah. It's all for naught. I mean, I want them to keep Belly for the flexibility that Belly gives you, being able to play outfield and first base. But Matt Shaw's back, and Matt Shaw's been wrecking for a while, so we'll see where they go.
Yeah, and Imanaga comes back soon, right?
And then they just called up my boy Cade Horton, who I'm still mad I didn't pick up as many cards of his that I wanted to, but I have immediately when he got called up, I just put my cards on eBay for a stupid number and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not worth $400, but we gonna put it at $400 and see if somebody says something.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of it. She's not listening. I don't want to get rid of it, but I mean, for the right price, it can go. As they say, they always let you buy them back.
True that.
But I learned with Christopher when Morel got called up, I put everything Morel up as buy nows, and they were just gone. But I was actually being reasonable with those.
Yeah. With
Cade, I'm not even being reasonable. I know I'm not. I got his gold SEC 10 out of 50 for like $400. I know I'm probably like $20 overpriced, but I don't want to sell it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I think he's going to be phenomenal pitcher.
Yeah,
with the stuff he has, with the attitude he has, and barring Tommy John injuries, he's going to be really good for a long time. And I know everybody talks about Skeens, and Skeens is that name, but like you have some really good pitchers coming up. I think Walker's a good pitcher for Texas Rangers. I think he's a good young pitcher as well. Got Bubba Chandler coming right behind Skeens in the Pirate system.
We got the local kid from here in the Pirate system.
What's his name?
Mike Burrows.
Mike Burrows.
Yeah, he's from Waterford. I think he's number 13 prospect in the Pirates organization. Pirates got some arms, man. They got some arms.
And it's too bad
they got
it's too bad that Paul Skeens isn't getting run support.
I know. Loses 1-0.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. Reminds me of early Kerry Wood.
Yeah.
Losing games 1-0.
Yeah, just bringing heat.
Yep.
It was interesting to see him get those balls past Ohtani.
Yeah.
97, 98, I think 100, just with.
Yeah.
Just up and away.
Yep.
His fastball runs too. It just runs when it goes up and away. So to left-handed pitchers, it runs out of the zone. As I say, we'll see how good Skeens is after his first Tommy John.
It's coming.
Everybody has a Tommy John. Unfortunately, now they don't even try to rehab you no more. It's Tommy elbow hurt, shoulder hurt, Tommy John.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and get it out the way.
Who was also the pitcher with the Nationals that had a Tommy John? Strasburg. Now you know how Strasburg was pitching when he first came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think the difference between Skeens and Strasburg is Skeens can locate very well. Like he can use the whole strike zone and pitch, and I think it took time. It took Tommy John for Strasburg to learn that.
I agree with that. Yep.
So, do you guys have any? Before we let you guys go, do you guys have any questions for us? Anything about the show you want to promote?
No.
That's what show you want to say?
No, I just think we're getting excited for June 1st. Now that we know that it's your first show, we're definitely excited for you. Definitely happy to have you. It's definitely cool. It will definitely be a cool experience for you. Something, what you talked about is what you're gonna see. Word of advice for you. It is a 6-foot table. Mark it out on your dining room table, and get your setup before you go. That's what I did before my first show. So definitely, take advantage of that. Trying to set up what looks good, what doesn't look good. But we're definitely excited, right?
Very excited.
Started planning in March, and we can't believe it's already here.
Mm-hmm.
We're less than 10 days away, and it's definitely it's going to come and it's going to go, and we're going to have some fun doing it.
Well, I want to say congratulations to you all in advance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're going to have a great time and learn a lot. It's going to be very successful for you. You put in the work.
Yeah.
Proud of everything you've done, because it's not easy to put on the show. Hope everybody out there knows it is not easy to put. It's not easy to go vend at a show, Big John.
Yeah.
It is not.
No. For people that are doing it, I applaud them, and I wish you all nothing but success. And I can't wait to have you on here again, and we talk about the next event.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'll be checking any flyers that you have. I repost stuff and help out as much as I can.
All right.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that. And that's what we're talking about. This community, it's great. It's phenomenal. People looking out for people, making sure everybody, has a good time and, all that. But I don't think we'll take too much more of your time tonight. Had some good conversation about baseball, about some cards, and we're ready to go June 1st.
All right.
Thank
you all.
All right.
Thanks,
guys.
And Alex, thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Bye-bye.
I'm excited, man. Nice people to be with.
Yeah, great people. It'll be a great event.
Yeah. I got a 3-row baseball, a 2-row football, 2-row basketball, then a mix of my squishmallows and my wrestling in the 3-row. So I'm prepared for my dollar boxes, and then
you're gonna do well, man.
My table.
I can't wait to hear what you sold and what you see come by your table. You're gonna tell me FT this.
I'm excited to just meet people, man, and just talk to people.
Yeah, you're gonna meet a lot of people, Big John. You have the personality for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Oklahoma City beat down Minnesota. Are you surprised?
A little bit.
I don't know why. Because Minnesota wouldn't be playing tonight if Steph Curry was healthy. You know this, Big John.
If was this, we'd all be drunk.
No, this team should not be here, and they're going to be embarrassed.
Don't
be surprised if this is a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. Don't be surprised.
This team was on last year.
What's that?
They were in this spot last year. They was in the West Conference last year. I can't say they shouldn't be there.
They shouldn't be there. There's no way they should be there. You don't win games when the all-time great is out by 5 points. And you think you're gonna come in here with this defense and do something? It's not gonna happen.
The defense is great.
It's not gonna happen. And Anthony Edwards tonight had 18 points. And Randall had 20 at halftime and 28 for the game.
Hmm.
And nobody else is really doing anything. You know, Nas Reed, you put a hand in front of his face, he's done. It's not happening, man. This is going to be a situation where people do a lot of talking and watch what happens. So this thing is really over right now. Unless somebody gets hurt, pulls a hamstring, tears a groin. Denver was the toughest team in the playoffs to put out. I don't care if you're in the East or the West.
Yeah, I said that. That was the worst matchup for the Warriors.
Yes, by far for the Warriors. And then the Clippers was a bad matchup for the Warriors. Denver took them out. Hey, did you see Giannis today in the Bay at some Silicon Valley event?
No.
Yeah. What the hell? Giannis pops up. Thunder versus Pacers. I don't think the Pacers are beating the Knicks. I believe it's Thunder versus Knicks.
Yeah.
And then and I like the fact that it's going to be Shea versus Brunson. Same draft. Minus Luka. Same thing going down. Now you got like 9 minutes. Anything going to jump in?
I mean, you can jump in whatever. We got a little bit more. I don't know. I was able to get most of my stuff done. It's gonna be playoffs is good. Baseball, getting ready to go into football. Steve Fanatics Fest announced pros versus Joes, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you ready to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes?
That's the bomb. That'd be nice. Because you want to catch a dime from Mahomes?
I mean, yeah, but what the price? What's the price of that pass going to be?
Oh, it's probably going to be astronomical. What's up with the Olympics and we're going to have flag football? Justin Jefferson said
they took breakdancing out for and flag football's in.
I just hope no one gets hurt, bro. It's just I just hope no one gets hurt. If Golden State Warriors get Giannis, Steph gets his fifth for show. What do you think, Big Jon? If Giannis comes to town, Steph gets his fifth?
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
If he comes, and who they get rid of?
That's the thing. Does Draymond leave?
Nah, I think it would be Butler.
Who would you?
I think it'd be Jimmy.
Would you get rid of Jimmy or Draymond?
I would get rid for Giannis.
Yeah,
Draymond.
That's what I would see with.
I was thinking about this the other night, right? The Warriors are in a weird situation.
Yes, they are.
Where you want to be loyal to the two players that made you a basically $10 billion team.
But you have been loyal. You have been.
Huh? Yeah, you still want to be. Those two players are still championship level players, and they want to win championships. And they still want to do it with this organization. They don't want to go. They will go to other to win a championship. They don't want to. No. So you're in this like, honey, I think we should go to marriage counseling type of vibe right now, because we both want to be in this, but we want more and can't figure out how to get through what we want.
Yep.
And it's at the cost of some of these younger players.
What if you got Giannis, Steph, and Draymond together, that's a problem. Also, if you have Giannis, Butler and Curry together.
I mean, if you can get Giannis, I think if you get Steph, Giannis, Butler, and Draymond together, you have a great starting five.
Yeah.
You have no bench.
Well, the first 2 seasons of the Miami Heat didn't have that.
True.
And they won 1 championship and got to 2 finals.
Yeah.
So you just know at the beginning of the season, I got to handle my business. What they got to do is lean on Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do and let Curry get some rest. Now, you know Kuminga and Looney and draft picks, it's not going to bring Giannis to town.
Yeah.
So it's no, stop bringing Giannis. Not bringing Giannis to town. Mm-mm. Unless Milwaukee says, you know what? We're just going to do you.
You can't get fair value for Giannis. It's like you can't get fair value for Steph.
No.
But they have no draft picks. They're in a situation where they have to decide, do we rebuild?
Well,
do we still rebuild?
I hate to say this, but what I think may help the situation is Dame tearing his Achilles.
Yeah.
It's going to help the situation out. Wherever Giannis goes.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors can't do a Brett Favre and keep their star too long. They either all in or rebound. Hector. We're talking about the greatest point guard of all time. He's not going to.
But that's the thing. I don't think you look at dynasty type teams. They've gotten rid of their star and chose to rebuild. They've never gotten back to the championship window. Right?
You're not.
Right?
You're not.
You look at the Bulls when they chose, the GM over Jordan and Phil Jackson. You look how long it took the Lakers after, Powell and Kobe to get back to win a championship with LeBron, right? You look at the Rockets. You look at the Spurs when they got rid of Duncan, retired, Ginobili's gone, Parker's gone. Like a rebuild in the NBA isn't a 2-3 year thing. It's almost a 10-year thing.
Yeah, he said Lakers don't rebuild for long.
It was still
but hold up, who's leading the Lakers once LeBron leaves? What's that person's name? It's a long time. We got Jordan says, what happens if they get Dame? Like, who's getting Dame? Yeah, Jordan, it's a long time with that name. Already spent what? How many years in Dallas? It's a long time. Got to the finals, got beat. It's a long time. Well, hold up though.
Hold on. You say it ain't a long time. Lakers won a championship in 2010, and they won a championship 10 years later in 2020.
Yes.
Like rebuilding is almost a 10-year thing.
But Laker fans like Hector in this fantasy world, well, they're now starting to think that Luka is about to lead that. Come on, man. Come on.
How long was it when Boston lost? When Boston broke up the Big Three? Did they win their next championship? When that about 10 years again?
Well, just think about right now. Boston is restarting right now.
I just checked their history. They won last championship with Kobe was 2010. Won in the rebuild and trying to get back 2020. 10 years between championships on a rebuild. And those rebuilding is not that easy to say we're going in a rebuild. You're really just saying is we're going to get in the luxury tax and be bad for a couple years to make money. But do they win championships? Reloading in superstars don't mean championships.
Like right now, Hector, you're pacified. And this is what teams do. They pacify you by going out and get a person like Luka. He's not going to do anything there. But you'll be on the edge of your seat for the next 6 years thinking that a championship is coming because the name on the back of his jersey is Doncic. And it's not. So right now, you don't have a player on your roster that's going to lead you to a championship. So who is that player going to be? And that's what the rebuild is.
I mean, the Bulls have been rebuilding
I want to go back to Jordan talking about Golden State getting down. Hold up. Golden State getting down. That's not happening. I don't see that happening. Dame is out for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about 2026, 2027 year? I don't see that. Don't see it. What's your prediction on Thunders versus Timberwolves? How many games?
6.
Okay. I'm going to say 5. What about Knicks and Pacers?
7.
I agree with that. It's a very evenly matched situation going on there.
Yeah, I can see the Knicks sweeping. I can see the Knicks losing in 7. Like,
I just think the Knicks are a tougher team. I just got to see. I just think they're tougher.
I do too. I also think that Tibbs can the later it gets into the season, the more I worry about how much he's going to
get hurt. You know, Jalen Brunson could pull a hamstring.
Yeah.
You know, anything like that could happen.
Ooh. So Shay, go to the finals. You selling any cards? Or you gonna continue to hold?
I'm continuing to hold. Shay's about to win the championship. I'm gonna continue to hold. I tell you the truth, I was about to move a card about a month ago, and I decided at the last hour or the last minute, like, I'm gonna keep that. I got a nowhere out of 5 auto on card with a Nike swoosh. I'm gonna keep that card. And then I went down and picked up the Prism out of 32 pink Pulsar. I'm gonna keep that card. Then I have some second-year cards of his when he first got to OKC. To me, my humble opinion, I know how things go. Joker's a great player. I can't take anything away from him. I thought Shea should have won MVP last year. So coming into this year, I was like, this is this dude's to lose. And Joker had a great year. Still lost 32 games. Shea lost 14. And Shea scored over 20 points in 70-plus games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's something that happens once every generation. And I know Joker was a big man with a triple-double. But Shea is just a different guy, man. His footwork, his stop-start, his popping. And now he's getting his three-pointer together. It's almost lights out.
His foul baiting.
He gets to the line. He's Dwayne Wade Jr. He gets to the line.
Man, I think he learned a lot from Chris Paul on how to get to the line.
He did. I agree with it. Yes. And he does it better than Chris Paul. Shea is going to be around a while. There's still a question. Even if they win a championship this year, how long is he going to be in OKC?
If he brings a championship to OKC before he should do what KD and Russ couldn't do. That's crazy.
And he's the first guard in the 2018 draft to win a championship. This is going to be one of them cases where everybody was talking about one guy, but it's really probably the two guys that's going to play in the finals because Brunson is no joke. No joke. So it's probably going to be those two guys. At the end of the day, that's going to be the real. Brunson is on the verge. He's probably already there of being a Knick legend.
No, I listened to a podcast yesterday. Sports is like he's already surpassed Carmelo Anthony in New York.
Oh yeah,
3 straight years into the playoffs, going to the second round of playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
is he the greatest OKC player?
Yep.
He won a championship.
Yep.
Jordan, you knew before the game came on today that Minnesota was going to get balled up and handled. And you know the answer to this question. This guy's no joke. I still have people walk around saying, I don't like his game. His game is very similar to some other players in the history of basketball. And they won. So let's see. Caruso tonight, all over Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
All over. This was, I thought this was Jordan's son.
It's amazing what LA gave up after they won the bubble championship.
Yep. Yeah, I still don't understand why Caruso left. If I'm LeBron, as I walk upstairs and get people fired, I'm walking upstairs and making sure Caruso does not leave town. I don't even understand that. He goes out last series and D's up the Joker. Just on leg strength, lower extremity strength. Just standing his ground on the guy. Yeah, he's over KD. Why are we tripping? He's over KD. Did KD win a championship in OKC? Did he lead the team? Or did he posse up the best point guard of all time on the championship? Let's not deny ourselves. Shea came out really aggressive tonight. That's what he's going to do every night. That's what he did in Game 7 versus Denver. And you got to think, OKC's on 2 days, on a day and a half rest. Minnesota hasn't played. When's the last time Minnesota played?
Like 5 days ago.
There's no excuses here, people. There are no excuses. And we're going to hear them from now until Game 2. We're going to hear every excuse under the sun of why Jordan's son didn't win this game. And OKC has home court advantage throughout the rest of the playoffs. So it's going to get interesting, people. Where my Luka people at? What do you think of Ashton Jeffrey, man? You think this guy's going to be? I mean, Ashton Jeanty. You think this guy's going to be?
I don't know.
I got a funny feeling. I want to see him catch a ball out of the backfield, turn it up.
Listen, he's got the size, right? He's built, stature like Saquon, built like Derrick Henry.
You remember Trent Richardson?
Yeah.
He had size. I just want to see football. I want to see. Hopefully he does. People really got Indy beating New York. Interesting.
I think they played well. They got a good size. You look at Miles Turner and Cat. That is going to be the matchup that determines the winner.
Yep, absolutely. But is Miles Turner going to get down there and bang, or is he going to shoot that jumper?
Because you can get Cat into foul trouble real easy.
Now we're talking about Timberwolves bench. It ain't the bench. There's a starter that needs to step up. It's not the bench. Smoothness. Come on now. There's a starter who shot 5 of 13 with 18 points in 37 minutes of play. With a negative 23 plus minus. Do you want me to say this again, Big Jon? There's a starter that had 18 points on 13 shots with a negative 23 plus minus. They ain't got nothing to do with the bench.
Nothing. He's got to play better.
We'll see if he does that.
So if Shea wins, is he not the face of the league?
He's going to be by default the face of the league. And he's not running around talking about it. He's not talking about what he wants to be or what he doesn't want to be. He's focused on winning a chip. And all that falls in line. I never heard Curry say, I want to be face of the league. That's why LeBron looked at him and said, it was a long time ago. What did LeBron say to him at the end? Better go get it.
What did Anthony tell Obama that he that dude? That he's him?
I'm the truth, baby.
The truth.
I'm the truth. Yeah, that's what Obama said. Hey, y'all see your boy over here.
So all right, last thing. What if Butler recruits Bam to the Warriors?
Bam would be a good player. What are we paying him? And does that mean we don't get Giannis? Is this door number 2?
Door number 2.
Bam is so caught up in this, this dating scene and looking at. I mean, we need a guy who
can't date.
Man, bro, his play has went straight down. Asia's launching shoes and handling her business. This dude's game is here. Come on, man. I don't think I want Bam in the Golden State uniform. I can't even see. I really can't see him playing with Draymond. Draymond's going to be talking to his dude on the court and telling him where he needs him to be. I see that all night long. Yeah. To me, it's really get Giannis, or it's not going to work. Whoever you put in there, you're going to win a few games, but it's not going to work. Bam gets to the playoffs. What's he going to do when he's playing against a dominant center? When he plays against Joker, what's Bam going to do?
But you don't need.
Hey, you do.
Bam. You need Bam could take the offensive load off and give you what Draymond doesn't give you on the offensive end with a dominant center. Like I don't care. I don't care who their center is. When it's crunch time and somebody needs to guard the 5, I want Draymond guarding the 5. I don't care who the 5 is. I don't care if the 5 is Joker or Shaq. I want Draymond guarding them.
But who's the 4 though? Who's gonna be the 4?
Bam. When it comes to defense, Bam can be the 4.
I just don't. I don't see that. I see that being just like this year. You win some games with that. You get to the playoffs. That thing unravels on you.
I told you. Listen, go get Steven Adams.
And what is he gonna do? Back up, bro?
Go get Steven Adams. I'm telling you, I just want that. I just want people running into that big Australian running these picks.
I can dig it.
I was watching some highlights of the Warriors' first championship season and that ball movement they had, where everybody is coming off of picks and they just pass it, boom, 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 one pass, open shots, open floaters, open dunks. Just you get it. I just think with a guy like Steven Adams and the way Steph Curry runs off picks, every game by the fourth quarter, whoever's guarding Curry is going to be too physically tired to guard.
I can see that. I think Adams will work in the system. But I think he'll work in the system, but you got to have some scoring. So you got to have some with somebody. I can dig it. I get that.
But you just look at that. Go back and look at that first championship season. Right now, not the playoffs. Just look at some of those highlights of those games. Mm-hmm. Then sub that center out for Steven Adams on picks, and look at just imagine that and like that thing of beauty.
Well, they kind of had Steven Adams before, right? That was Zaza, right? They kind of had a Steven Adams before.
Yeah, but Zaza's not as stout as Steven Adams is, and Zaza doesn't set hard physical screens like Steven does. I'm just saying. I'm gonna keep saying it because that's how much I believe in it. That even if he was a 6-man, 7-man coming off the bench as your backup center, and just by the time the fourth quarter comes around, I am tired of running into this man's screens. Somebody call it out that he behind me. And if you put that in a 7-game series, if you're already getting tired for chasing Curry, how tired are you going to be after getting hit 20 times with a Steven Adams screen?
I got one question for Jordan. He's saying Chase shot 37. What did Anthony Edwards shoot? What's 5 of 13? And you only score 18 points? 5 of 13 is 38% shoot. So you could ask yourself this question. So we just going to ignore what Anthony Edwards shot? Think about that. Think about that 3-8. And you had 18 points. And you had a negative 23 plus minus. So that means every minute that you were on the court, you're helping the other team win. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. So I wonder when the announcement is going to be made of where Giannis is going. Because he's having a meeting this week with Milwaukee, right? I think so. I say shortly after the finals are over, we know where Giannis is going.
True. All right.
2 years on his contract, he won't be there.
Another option. Door number 3, if you don't get Giannis. And we just try to fill this roster out.
Yeah.
Right? Bobby Portis off the bench.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Huh?
I like that. That's Bobby Portis. I've said for years, fits Golden State scheme.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just popped up in my head. Bobby Portis. That's another good fit off the bench.
Yeah. I do not like what's the center from Milwaukee?
Lopez.
I don't care for that.
No.
I'm not digging that one. Game is already declining.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But if I hear the word Giannis, you put Steph with a real big? Offensive big? Man, that'd be
Steph,
cool.
Giannis, and Jimmy Butler on the same team.
It's like video game.
That's going to be moments of really slow basketball, and then just flurries of points.
Nobody's worried about BP. Are you worried about BP?
No, I don't think he's off limits no more.
No. Hold up, Jordan. You say he's a cheat code? I love it, man. I love it.
All right.
You saw with Brandon Brzezinski how he plays when Curry got hurt? Big Jon, what you got? What are you about to say?
Oh, no, I'm just looking at more stuff I got to put up. Stuff for now. We're good.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having all of you all here with a wonderful guest tonight. Very, very, very good show. And we got to see a win here.
All right, yeah. So next week it's going to be FD. I should be around. We'll see what my son has a plan for me because I will be in South Carolina.
When is your son's graduation? What day?
Next Wednesday. Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we could always move this to after that. We can move this to after that.
Well, we keep it Tuesday. I'll be down there. We'll see what we got going on. You can. Yeah, we got to keep a schedule. Neither one of us is sick, so we can keep a schedule.
It's all good.
I mean, if I'm not here talking, I'll be in the chat saying something. So we'll be together. We got to keep people consistent.
I'm happy for him, man, and congratulations to you and your family. I know everybody's going to be excited. I love graduation.
I'm excited. It's a road trip. It's me and my wife's 11-year anniversary this coming weekend.
Congratulations.
My daughter's first road trip in the car. So she's on snack patrol. She's a snack captain. So it's gonna be a fun week. And you know what? I ain't gotta go to work for a week, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Good stuff, man.
Mhm.
Well, hey, I hope you have a great night. I always appreciate you being here and bringing great guests. Joanna and Alex were great to talk to.
Yes, that was fun. And we got some baseball talk. We
Yeah.
don't get much baseball talk.
Well, when I talk about Ohtani and maybe a few other people, that's about it for me.
It's okay. You can't be an expert in everything.
No. The first sport I ever watched was baseball.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
that's why Big Jon. That's why I defer to you, man. You got that knowledge.
Baseball is exciting, Hey, Jordan, how about Pete Crow Armstrong? How about my boy Pete Crow? Bet you got more home runs than Mike Trout.
Mike Trout on that decline?
Big time.
I
thought he was injured.
People won't admit that. They're not going to admit it. Not going to admit it. Big Jon, you're going to celebrate when Pete Rose goes in, man.
I mean, yeah, he goes in. Mike Trout is batting 180, 9 home runs, 18 RBIs.
It's good.
And now on the 10-day IL.
How does your game, how does that happen? 190. I guess one day Ohtani would be batting 190. Happens to every player at some point. You think your boy, you think Trout hit 500 home runs?
No.
You don't think so?
Not no more. He gets injured too much. Pete Crow is batting 285, 12 home runs, 39 RBIs.
Who is Jordan saying is a cheater? Who's a cheater? Let me know, Jordan. I won't be able to sleep if you don't know who you're talking about there. But Big Jon, I don't want to keep. I know you got stuff to do here in preparation. Right. Big things coming. Have a great night. Tell your family we said hello.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody out there, appreciate y'all. Trout.
Appreciate you guys. Good night.
Hold on. Why do people do stuff like this? People say Trout could be using, but they don't say LeBron could allegedly be using respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that?
I don't think Trout's using. I just think he's been injured. It ain't that. Baseball, it comes and it goes. And when it goes fast.
I also say Trout has a family now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably not doing what he used to be doing for the amount of time that he was doing it. Didn't he just have his second child?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. There's no way that man is doing what he used to be doing when it came to preparation, hitting in the cage. He's not doing all that.
Well, but again, he's been injured, significant injuries in his knees and shoulders last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
You look at, and when it goes in baseball, it goes. You look at Cody Bellinger, you look at Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant. Like they were, Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo were two of the best players for about a 3-year span on the Cubs, and then it just went where they couldn't hit nothing, and they couldn't play defense no more. Like baseball's the hardest sport to play. And once you get injuries, it makes it even harder.
So is Mike Trout, is he going to be Don Manley now? Don Manley at one point.
Mike Trout probably needs to be a DH.
Will Mike Trout make the Hall of Fame? This is what I'm asking.
When he went to the Hall of Fame, yes. He will make the Hall of Fame simply because the young baseball writers who said he was the greatest thing the past 8 years, I don't want to be wrong by not putting him in the Hall of Fame.
Let me see how many. He's on assignment now, rehab or something. Yeah, let me see. What is his? Let me see his total number of home runs. He has 386 home runs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if Mike Trout does not get to 425, I don't know if he's making a Hall of Fame. He's batting 297 now for his career. We'll see. We shall see. I think what's that?
I don't think there's really a way where he doesn't make it to the Hall of Fame unless he doesn't play the next 3 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. I foresee something happening when Mike Trout's not playing. But does Mike Trout, I've asked this question before, and people said, nah, FD, I don't see that. Does his career mimic Luka Doncic's career at all? Did you see any similarity? What's that?
No, because he was way more productive than Luka was at a young age.
He was way more productive. What do you mean? Luka's 25.
Yeah, and Trout has MVPs at that time, Gold Gloves. Consider that was a time where Mike Trout was legitimately the bar none the best player in baseball.
So you're saying Luka was never the best basketball player?
Luka's never been the number one best player in basketball, no competition.
Yeah, any similarity in injuries that constantly occur?
Different reasons. I don't think Trout's injuries because he's out of shape. I don't think because he's not in shape.
Okay, I respect it all. I respect it. That's why I love you, man. You give me the real. I can accept all that.
I don't know who Luka's baseball comp would be. Maybe a Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
Who? What player?
Vlad Guerrero Jr. Maybe that's be his baseball comp.
Vlad got in shape though. Didn't Vlad get in shape?
He got in shape last year. I didn't see him this year. But highly hyped.
I agree. Yep.
A lot put on him. A lot of expectation, highly hyped. Didn't live up to the expectations. Out of man because he was out of shape.
He was out of shape. He was.
Doesn't play. Not good on defense. At the time when Vlad wasn't really good on defense, so I moved him to first base. So if I had to take a quick thought process to it, one of the top prospects, still an offensive threat, right? So I would give him, in relatively the same age, I would give him.
I'm not sure about Vlad because Luka took his team to the final. Let me just say this, people. We do this.
2 different sports, though.
But we do this in the short term. Nobody cares if you took your team to the finals if you didn't win. We do this. Do you know who took their team to the finals 30 years ago?
But here's the difference in sports. Winning a championship in baseball does not define your career.
No, it doesn't.
At all. Winning a championship.
No.
And one person can't can't take you to a championship in baseball. Like basketball can.
Yeah, Barry Bonds proves that. Yep. It's true.
Mike Trout proves that. Ohtani proves that. Paul Skeens proving that now. He's losing games. He's dominated as ever, losing games 1-0. You can be very, very highly dominant in baseball and lose. if you're dominant in basketball, you usually win. Right? You usually make the playoffs. You usually go deep in playoff runs, win a championship. Not in baseball. As good as the Dodgers are, look at the Detroit Tigers. This year, they only 2 games behind them in wins, and they were one of the sorriest teams last year. Well, 2 years ago, and they rebuilt and become a very dominant team without the name power of the Dodgers. 2 totally different sports.
True.
Jordan would say Juan Soto. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
What about Juan Soto though? What's the context?
Dan Lucas comp. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Juan Soto won a championship. It's the only difference. Like I said, 2 different sports. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Oh, I didn't know Ant-Man sprained his ankle, came back in the game.
Second series in a row.
Oh, he's gonna keep spraining something, dude. He's gonna find a way to get in the locker room.
No, Jordan, I'm not arguing against that. I like that comp a little bit better. I just said if I had to think of it off top, I will go with Vladdy. But some little in-depth thought. Came in 19, international prospect, highly, outside Juan Soto winning early, Luka's going to command a $60 to $70 million a year contract as well. Oh, outside of injury, it's not a bad comp.
So I say in 7 years, Luka's not even playing basketball. By 32, I don't see Luka playing basketball. You think I'm wrong? Jordan, what you think? We'll see. But Big Jon, you have a good night, man.
Good night. Tell the family I said hi.
Will do. Everybody, I appreciate y'all being here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. 153 out. Y'all keep rolling.